Duke University's controversial Muslim call to prayer took place last week outside of Duke Chapel. The call to prayer is a traditional prayer called out from the mosque 5 times a day, gathering Muslims for worship. Despite protests, many voiced their support for the Muslim community. I look to see reactions from participants and ELN. Stand By Me was the familiar song being sung at the Muslim call to prayer, one that represents many of the views of people in attendance. Marty Rosenbluth is an ELN law professor who showed up to voice his opinion on the decision-making national headlines.
Well, as a concerned member of the Jewish community, I was very distressed to hear that Duke had canceled the call to prayer, and I came out to show my support to the Muslim community.
Last week, Duke University announced the call to prayer would be broadcasted from the chapel's tower. But after heavy criticism on social media from Franklin Graham, son of evangelist Billy Graham, the university decided to hold the worship outside the chapel. Second-year Duke Divinity student Robert Dinsmore says that Duke needed to take the nature of the event into consideration.
This is a faith practice, and it happens to be a kind of controversial act because this is what's happening in other parts of the world that cause violence.
Christy Lore Sapp is the Associate Dean for Religious Life at Duke, and she says she did talk to the Muslim students, but not until after the news was released.
I did meet with the Muslim students and Imam Zeb on Thursday evening, and we talked about it in person, but this was after the news had been out.
Hundreds did show up today for Duke's Muslim call to prayer outside Duke Chapel. Despite some protests leading up to today, some in attendance are optimistic about what this means for the future.
As with many things, there are fits and starts in the beginning. But people have come out and they've shown what they believe in, and they've shown that they can support each other.
When asked about potentially having an event like this here at ELN, University Chaplain Jan Fuller said, "Right now we have very few Muslims, although we would like to have more. Until we have a greater number, this will not be an issue for us." Preston Willett, ELN Local News. Duke University officials say that they have weekly prayer services for Muslim students and faculty that will continue to be held in the basement of Duke Chapel.